Perfect. Is that? Yeah. Okay. So can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, first of all, thanks Paul for organizing this, and for the guys here dropping by, and everyone online. Thank you so much for just popping in for this training here. So I'm Martin from Gallery Group, and I am just going to give you guys some information on our house and land stock today, and in particular talk a bit about our co-living investment properties and just how it works and what they look like, etc. So Gallery Group, for those of you that don't know who we are, we're based out of Sanctuary Cove. We've been in business for 12 years. We do some apartments and mainly do house and land. So we build traditional, we build dual key, and we build co-living. Over the last sort of year and a half, we've really specialized on co-living. It's something where we've seen that it has a really good exit strategy. We've become good at building it, high income, and it just works really well, in particular in this market at the moment where the interest rates are really high. So I'll talk you through how that works, etc. But if I just go through a couple of things here. So what we have for you guys as agents is we have a Dropbox links where all of our stuff is in. So this is our Dropbox. And in our Dropbox, we got some folders. So we got all of our different projects, and they'll have, so if you go into just any of these projects, you'll actually have, oh, maybe not this one, sorry. Let's go back. If we take this one, for instance, you'll have, that's not what it's supposed to be in there. I think they've just done some changes. Sorry about that. So on the projects, you'll be able to quickly see what projects we have. You can then go back and you can say, hey, we're looking for packages. Do we want traditional? Do we want dual? Do we want co-living or co-living dual packages? So if you're looking for co-living packages, these are all of the projects that have dual in them. And then you go and say, oh, we like something in Ormo. You go in and you can see pre-packaged all of the stuff we have. Once you click on one of these, you'll have the rental estimation, and you'll have the packaged information. And when you scroll in here, you'll get the house information, you'll get the floor plan, you get the site plans, and on the right-hand side, you can see a split between the land price, house price, furniture pack, and total package. We then have all of our different facades. And we then go through all the inclusions, appliances, and then all the way down through our landscaping, warranties, and at the end there is also our rental estimate is at the back end of this document as well. So when you can even see our furniture packs. So for anyone that is interested in our products and you find something that they like, you just go into the project, find the package that suits their budget in the area that it does, and you can share this with them, and that will really have all of the information that they need. So it's nicely packaged. If we have, if you look at our stock list, which is at the bottom of our Dropbox, when you look at our stock list, you might see, you'll see the different projects where we are. So let's say you see Morayfield, and you see that we got duals packaged on there. If that's the only project that we have in Morayfield, but you got someone that was interested maybe in co-living or in traditional there, but you see we got stock, you can still come to us and then just say, hey, those lots that you have in Morayfield, what would they look like with co-living on them? Or what would they look like with traditional on them? And then we'll actually go in and then repackage them so that they fit your client's requirement. And then you can then give it to them as a co-living or as a traditional package in those areas. On top of this, if you have clients that looking for a particular area that is not here, then once you understand what co-living is, you think this is a great investment, but they want some other area, you can also come to us and you can say, hey, would you be able to put co-living somewhere in this area here? And we will actually go out, because we have access to land all sort of different places. So we can go out and source land and we can say, hey, where can we put a co-living on in that area within the price bracket? And then we'll price that and package it up for you. And we'll give it to you so you can actually get access to stock outside of on our stock list. It will just take us a little bit of time to package it for you. On just down here. So on co-living, so is everyone familiar with what co-living is? Yep. Yeah, so what we've done here is we have our website, which is Co-Living by Gallery. There's no contact information or anything on that website, which means that it's really good to use just if you have a client that wants to understand what co-living is. This is the main page, and we got this really cool wheel here where you go research. So what have we done? So we actually went out to 1,300 people and we got some research. And what we found was for co-living, the average age of a tenant is around the 33-year mark. The average tenure is 4 to 5 years. So people that are using co-living are actually long-term tenants. They're just tenants that either cannot afford to have a one-bedroom apartment or cannot find an apartment close enough to where they work. And so co-living is taking care of a huge problem that there is, especially here in Queensland, for professionals. These are guys that are like shift workers or managers or nurses or school teachers that just don't have a family, but still have a solid job, etc. They need to be somewhere in the area where there's just no one-bedroom apartments that are able for them to get. We got the other thing that we found out was that in order to get the premium rent that we are achieving on ours, what they want is they want private bathroom, they want a lockable pantry, dedicated co-living. So they prefer to pay more to not be in a room in a family's house. So they want to have, hey, everyone here is someone that is renting a room, and that is why it's working so well. Fully furnished and with air conditioning within the room. You then have the dwelling supply, so we got the stats around that. Tenant demand is just through the roof. There's some build regulations in order to comply for co-living. So everything we do is built specifically for that. We have some additional noise reduction built into the house. We got solar on the roof to make sure that it reduces the electricity cost for the investors. Certain requirements for smoke alarms, fire safety, fire extinguishers, etc., all of which is part of what we deliver. We talked about these things. Finance. So again, with the finance, what is really good is that these co-living properties are actually 4-bedroom houses. Okay, so where previously you had dual living is what you would have to have a higher income. What we saw was that when people were trying to exit these investments, they wouldn't get the full capital growth because you can really only sell it to an investor. It's hard to sell it to a family to go in and have a dual living property. So we have managed to fix this by making a design that looks like this. So these are our typical frontages. So it's a 10 meter and a 12.5 meter frontage. And when you look at the floor plan, what we have is we got the double garage, we got the entry, and then we have 3 bedrooms with ensuite. So each of these bedrooms all have ensuite. And then there is your kitchen, pantry, dining, living, and patio. But the smart thing here is that on the middle bedroom here, when it's co-living, this door here will be locked. And that bathroom is not a guest bathroom. It is specifically for this bedroom. But then when you want to sell it, you actually have, you open this door again, and then you now have a guest bathroom. You got 2 bedrooms with ensuite and 1 with a door to the guest bathroom. And so, and you still have another bedroom over here, which we use as a media room for co-living. But what that means is that when you want to exit it, you're actually selling to potentially a young family or a family in the area, and you get a better capital growth. On the, let's go back here to the wheel. And so in terms of property management, so this is one of the big things. So there are a couple of other builders out there that will provide the builds with the 3 en-suites, etc. But co-living is similar to NDIS and SDA, those kind of investments. You need to have a property manager that specializes in how to rent these. Otherwise, you won't get the return. So we actually have our own in-house property manager that makes sure that we get the right tenants in here. So all the areas where we build, we only build these where we know that we can get at least $300 per room, no problem. And there's a huge supply-demand imbalance. What our management then do is they make sure that the furniture pack is installed and all of the TVs. So each room will have a 50-inch TV, all the bedrooms as well. They take all the cutlery, etc. They run it through the dishwasher. They make everything is just ready to walk in and use. And we bond clean it before anyone comes in. And then we get the tenancy agreements. We have house rules in there as well to make sure that people won't party, that they won't have a girlfriend or boyfriend that is staying there permanently, etc. They have to sign that as part of the rental agreement. And each of the tenants also have to put their own bond. So you got 3 tenants, 3 bonds, 3 separate rental agreements. We do quarterly inspections. And then part of our profiling as well, when we get tenants in, is actually to do this profiling. So we try and find out that we have the right mix of personality types within each of these, again, to avoid friction and to make sure that the tenants, they'll stay long-term. The management fees are 12%, including GST, and it's well worth for the investors to pay that to have everything that our in-house management they do, because that is really what allows them to have the high rental income and make sure they get the right tenants in. And then the exit strategy. So with the exit strategy, you can either sell it to an investor based on yield, or you can actually sell it to an owner-occupier based on location and design. So when we, when people want to look at how it all works, so we have this supply-demand, and this is such a good little tool to have. So if you had a client that was saying, oh, Morayfield, that's what we're looking for. If you went into this website and you click, how many tenants are there? So how many people are looking for these type of rooms in Morayfield? It links straight to a particular search for people looking for 1-bedrooms in Morayfield. And it's always current. So it's not like old numbers. This will change every week. At the moment, there are 97 people that are looking for 1-bedroom options in that area. Then you go back to, let's go back here. So you go back to the website and you look at supply of rooms, and you got 5. Yeah, so you got 97 people in Morayfield that are looking for a room and availability. These are the rooms that are available. So this is 270. This one is 400, including bills, 300, including bills, 300, including bills, and I'm not even sure what this one is. So these are sort of like, these are the options that are out there. Then you got one of ours. So this is one of ours, and this is how it presents in the area where there is such a huge demand. So if you look, so you can see here, that's the frontage of it, fully landscaped, kitchen, hallway, the bathrooms. That's the furniture package that is part of the packages. And you can see the rooms, they come with a bed frame, 2 side tables, fan, and AC unit, as well as mirrored wardrobe. Patio. And then we have a media room. So because these are 4-bedroom houses, but you're only allowed to have 3 tenants as a co-living property. So what we're doing with the last room is becomes a media room. And so 2 tenants will have a room plus a garage space, and 1 tenant will have a room plus the media room. And we have delivered more than 130 of these co-living homes over the last couple of years. And every one of them are 100% tenanted. And we've had no issue with regards to who's getting what. There's always someone that prefers the garage. There's always someone that prefers the extra room. Everyone happy to pay 300 plus, including bills. So it's just it's a product that works really, really well. For let's close these ones down. We also have a link to a 360 walkthrough, so you can actually go in, or you can send it to a client if they want to see what these houses they look like. So you can go in and see you got carpeted rooms. You got the big TV, 50-inch TV in each of the rooms, bathroom. What we have as well is there are lockable pantries. So inside the butler's pantry in here, you can see there is a double cupboard for each of the tenants with locks on them. So if you have your beer or your expensive coffee or an espresso machine or whatever that you don't want to leave out, you can then lock that in whenever you're not there. And this is something that, again, from the feedback, people, this is a big thing for them to have access to this. So this link is here as well. So we got the Dropbox with all of our pre-packaged stuff in it, with all of the plans, etc. We got the website where you can get all the information about co-living, and that includes the FAQ. So when you go to the FAQ, we actually have pretty much the answer to any questions that you would ever get about tenants, construction, finance, legal, location, yields, etc. All of the answers are here. So this is like a really good place to go if you have any questions, or to just go through it really quickly, and like probably in half an hour you'll be an expert in co-living. But what we also have is we have a construction portal. So the link is here on the website, and what happens is when you have a client that purchases a home from us, you will get a link and a login to our construction portal, as well as your client will. So when you are doing, when you are going through the process of the construction, both your client and yourself can log in here. And inside this, you'll have the activities. So activities, you see this one is almost completed. So we've ticked pretty much everything off. But when you start the construction, they're all going to be marked as not complete. And they'll all have a forecasted date and the actual completion date. So at any given time, and this is really good for you as an agent, because you probably try to sell things somewhere where the client calls you all the time. What's happening with this? What's happening with this? Because of this portal, most of the time they'll actually go and log in themselves and just keep a track on, hey, what's going on? And if they call you because they didn't want to log in themselves, then you'll be able to just quickly log in and see, hey, where are we up to on these ones? And then on top of that, we also have the documents. So any document at all that relates to the build will always be in here. So if you ever need it for any other purposes than the construction, you can go in and find them here. And this is the best part for the clients is we're actually on a weekly basis uploading photos of the progress. So two really good benefits about that. Number one, the clients can see their houses being built. Number two, we have really clean construction sites because the trades they know and they're being photographed regularly, bless you. And it just makes it a really tidy thing. And as an agent and as a customer, it's nice to know that you're dealing with a product that is being looked after and everyone is sort of like treating it with respect. So that's the portal that we have in here as well. So at the moment, when we look at the stock list, it's anywhere sort of from across Sunshine Coast down to Gold Coast and out to Ipswich. So we got Lawton, Morayfield, Rosebank. There's a new Marston development that we've just launched this week, actually, where you can see we got co-living from 726. If you wanted to put a traditional home on this, we could probably get them just under 700,000, which is pretty good in that location. And we're actually getting quite a lot of inquiries on that one at the moment. We got the Ridge, Ripley, Arborwood, Parkinson, Banya, Nambour, Coomera, Yarrabilba, Ormo, Blackstone out in Ipswich, and Berbengarry, Deception Bay, and Woodridge. So this changes all the time. We have a fair bit of movement on a weekly basis on our stock, but again, I think what we really see at the moment is the people that we work with. We're getting a lot of inquiries for co-living at the moment just because it's high income, it's a regular house and land, so it just works better than buying a 4-bedroom regular home. We have some guarantees in place as well, which is really important just to maybe just quickly cover. So when you look at our guarantees, and again, this is for peace of mind for your clients. So the first one that we have is that we'll start on site within 4 weeks of land settlement. This is great because a lot of people at the moment, especially with what's going on with builders going bust, etc., people are like, hey, how do we know that it's going to be built? Do they have enough people to build it, etc.? You know, like, so we guarantee as part of the contract that we'll start on site within 4 weeks. And if we don't, we actually have LDs that apply. So that's a big one. The other one is that we'll build the home within 18 weeks. So that's commencement to practical completion stage. And again, we got LDs. And the late damages that we have put in our contracts that we would need to pay, we have actually worked them out based on a mortgage that would be the land price and a mortgage that would be on a completed product. What would the interest be on a weekly basis for someone if we were late? And that's how we put it. So our late, in the event that we should be late, our damages should cover the cost that would be to someone, but we obviously heavily incentivized to make sure we deliver on time. And then when people are taking up the co-living options with the rent, we also guarantee that we will have the home fully tenanted within 6 weeks of handover. If it's not fully tenanted, we'll pay the difference until it is. Again, we know that we can deliver that because there is we have our own team and we know that we only build them where there is a strong demand. But again, from a client perspective, it's just peace of mind and it just makes it super easy to deal with us. So I think in terms of what we're doing at the moment, we are actually trying to take advantage of this gap that has come in the market with a couple of builders not being here. So we want to build more now. We want to build out our strategic relationships, and in particular with Oxford, just try and see if we can assist you guys in making more house and land sales and be here for you guys. So that sort of, I think, covers most of it. I'm happy to take any questions if there are.
Fixed contract?
Yeah, fixed price contract. Yeah. So we even have a clause inside. So when you do fixed price contracts, thanks for the question, by the way. When you do fixed price contracts, there's actually like 6-7 clauses inside the contract that allow you to get out of that with variations. But we have put in a clause that says that we cannot do that. So for us, it is a fixed price. What you pay is what you pay. The only times where we've had an issue is where we haven't owned the land, and for whatever reason, the landowner had unexpected site costs on it that we would have then had to fix, but we have just working on a solution for that as well. So in terms of build cost, etc., we don't do anything where land settlement is more than 12 months out. So that way we can manage the fixed price thing. But if you look at our price list, actually most of it is sort of like already registered or registering within the next 3 to 6 months. And that just allows us to package these prices in a span that we can actually deliver to. Very good.
So it would be true contract, right?
Yeah, so for most of it, the only single contract project that we have at the moment is Natura. So Natura is the last one. So Natura is Upper Coomera. They're townhouses. So we got about 10 of those left. The slabs are already started, like we started putting slabs down. First of these townhouses are expected to complete in January. And if you look at they're actually really nice, sort of like very different design to these co-living ones. So if we just go here, Natura, let's look at one of them. So these ones are single contract townhouses. That's the development. There are 45 of them, so it's a small development. And we've already done slabs here and starting slabs here. And then in the next 1.5 months, we should have done all of the slabs. This is the design. So these are really nice. So the floor plans for these ones is downstairs. You have 3 bedrooms downstairs, and then you go upstairs and you have your master bedroom and your kitchen and dining and living upstairs. And that just takes advantage of the additional light and the aspect of being a little bit higher up. So these ones, well under construction, single contracts, Upper Coomera, ranging at around sort of like 850 mark, which is they're great price points. I mean, you guys said that you were out there, so you would probably be able to vouch for that. But yeah, we've sold
good location.
We've sold about 30 of them or something like that. So there's 10 approximately left. Yeah.
So for 45, how many of them devoted to co-living?
At the moment, most of them have been sold as traditional. So we do have the co-living option in there, but most of the people so far have taken it up as traditional townhouses. Yeah.
So I can decide on the spot what I want.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Yes, correct. So there's probably like 1 or 2 more months where you would be able to change it. I think otherwise after that, we would be so far into construction that we couldn't actually make the changes. So there's probably like 2 months, I would say, left if somebody wants to turn it into co-living. Originally, we're going to build all of them as traditionals.
So with the Stonewood, is that all sold out now? Or? Stonewood's no longer gallery. Is that correct?
Stonewood, I'm not actually sure. I haven't seen that on there. Again, I've only been here for 2.5 weeks, so it could be one that has slipped out, but I'm happy. Where is Stonewood?
Still there.
All right. Okay. All right. No, I think definitely out there. That's the one that we're doing at the moment. Yeah. There and Olmo is sort of like the two main ones.
Thank God for Martin.
Pardon?
Thank God for Martin. We've had so many leads, but I think Alexandra's been so busy.
Yeah, well, and just on behalf of Gallery, just if you've been trying to reach out to us through Alex, etc., let me just say we do apologize about that. We sort of it's an interesting situation, right? A bit spoiled, really. I think Gallery, they're good at what they do. They got great groups that they're working with, and they've just been at capacity, and so the incentive have not been there, and the manpower has just not been there to really get back to people. One of the reasons why I have joined recently. So my job is really just to go out and find the key partners that we might have neglected a bit in the past, and make sure that we don't do that moving forward. So I'm here now, and I always pick up my phone. I'm here to help you guys, and love to do business with all of you.
Yeah, and we've known Martin for a while from different places.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So
the contact number is a question on the chat. Your contact number and stuff like that. We'll share the WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
directly with you.
Yes, happy to do that.
And obviously, great commission. We're fully transparent here with the commission.
Yeah. So it's 40 plus GST. And we pay these 3 payments on the co-living stuff. It's I believe it's land settlement, slab, and frame, as far as I remember. And then for these ones, it is the 2 payments. One is probably slab, and one is completion, I think. So, but it will be, what I'll do is when we get the agency agreement done, I'll just do I'll screenshot the schedule so everyone knows exactly what it is.
So that's $44,000 for referral.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's what Metricon used to do.
Yeah, I mean it's I think it's competitive and it's realistic. I think it's all about with commissions, commission is only as good as what you can pay, right? And it's some they pay everything up front, and that just puts you at a lot of risk, and some they pay really high, and you go like, well, you're probably gonna be overpaying somewhere. Someone is paying for this, and it's gonna value up as well. And so what we see is that with most of this, because they have type A1 construction, when you take it to get the mortgage, it presents as a 4-bedroom home, and we have very little issues with valuations, and and then when we then show the floor plans to clients for it, we have it set up as a 3-bedroom plus media room, and the reason why we do that is just because from an investment point of view, if they think that, hey, there's 4 bedrooms that we can rent out, then we get in trouble because we're not allowed to have 4 bedrooms. So it just makes sense to set it like that on the client presentation. But again, when you want to resell it, you're reselling a 4-bedroom, 3 ensuite, double car garage house, which is brilliant. So we've been doing it for quite a while now. We're the only ones that do it fully turnkey, and we're very good at it. So, in terms of doing co-living and just doing something in the market at the moment that just makes a lot of sense, there's a great opportunity. And we've definitely seen some groups that just they can see the opportunity, and they're really running with it at the moment. So happy to try and assist you guys as much as I can.
What if we got land?
Yeah,
we've got land.
Yeah,
how does that work?
Very good question. So if you have a client with land and they want to put an investment property on it, let's say, in our Dropbox, we go. So in our Dropbox, you can go down to our floor plans, and you can see our single story, double story, dual living, or co-living. So if they have land and they say, hey, we would like to put co-living on it, you can actually go into co-living or either of the other one for that matter. And you can see all the different type of floor plan that we have. And so obviously then based on the width and the length of the land. So this one requires a 12 and a half meter frontage. And you go in and you can just go and see the different types of floor plans that we have available for that. You can then come to us and you can say, hey, we got a client, they got this lot. Are we able to put this one on? Or which one can we put on that fit there? And we will literally package it up for them and we'll build it for them there as well. We also look for land to build on, you know, like, so if you know of any land out there, you know, either like that is a good development site that is just raw, feel free to bring it across to us. We'll have a look at it. You know, we're growing a lot. We've hired 10 people in the last couple of weeks, estimators, drafting, marketing, everything. So we're really gearing up to do a lot more builds over the next couple of years. So happy to look at land as well if you come across it.
What the commission will be, could you just introduce to you?
Let me confirm that for you. Yeah, it's a good question. I should know that. I don't. So I don't want to say anything. I'll rather just let you know when I've got it confirmed, if that's all right.
Yeah, better than residential commission, guaranteed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. It probably wouldn't be far off, but I'll find out for you.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
There's so much land out there. There's quite a bit of land, the pocket, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
Sky Beach is huge.
Again, I think when you work with Gallery Home, but immediately when I spoke to Adam, who's the CEO, and Alex is, you know, I think the key for you guys is the fact that there's flexibility with us, right? Like you got anyone that is looking for house and land here in Queensland, we can help them. You know, we can help them build we can help them build a traditional double story. You know, we can do, as what you guys were saying, hey, if they want to change something, if they want bigger inclusions, if they want higher ceilings, we can do that. If they want a granny flat, we can do that. If they just want co-living and they have the land, we can do that. So we have a lot of flexibility, but at the same time, we have great variety of pre-packaged stuff that is just super easy to sell. And we have all the support in terms of the portal, the website, etc., that just makes it really easy for a client to understand how it works with us and go through the journey with us as well. We're also upgrading our marketing team at the moment, so we'll have like a co-living sales kit very soon that is going to be agent friendly. And if you guys sort of like, it is probably more like from you, Paula, I think like if there was something that you thought that would be really beneficial for everyone to have, we can work together on like, hey, do you think we could create this kind of thing? And then we'll look at how could we assist you with that. So there's some good marketing support from us as well.
Well, things like facade would be great too. Like clients want different facades.
Yeah, exactly. And so with the facades again, like we got, when you look at just quickly, let's take any of these. So we have 8 facades.
Okay.
So here, so you got this, the contemporary is included, realist is included, Hamptons is included, and then you have an upgrade version for the alto, the modernist, the surrealist, cubist, and expressionist. So there's 3 that are included, and there are like 5 optional ones as well. So again, and when we do our estates, we have obviously requirement that we cannot put 2 of the same ones next to each other. So we make sure that when we deliver a full estate, it's not just going to look like the same house for 5 houses in a row. Everything has to be different color scheme, different facade, etc. So it looks nice when you drive through.
Very good.
So how the system works with Garland? Buy the buyer,
Yeah.
when on the contract register the buyer, or calling you, or calling...
Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can obviously always call me and I'll guide you through things. But in here, we have the sales advice form. And so there is one if people are buying through a company and one if it's just like a regular purchaser. And so in this one, you just fill this one in with the details. Obviously, before you do that, just call me and say, I have a client for this. And I just want to make sure that it's still available, and I'll put it on hold for you for 24 hours so you can get your sales advice filled in, a copy of ID, and the deposit receipt. And once we have that, we'll consider it a sale.
So I can't see on the portal what available.
So you can so the stock list that we have here is always updated. So and the Dropbox link is always the same. So you have one Dropbox link, and whenever you go in there, we update this daily. So whatever is in there should be there, but the things we have on the stock list is a mix of our own developments and stuff that we have packaged on other people's land. And so it's always good just to give a quick call and just say, hey, we're gonna, even if you're gonna present, you know, like, and you think there's a good chance that you can sell it to someone, like just before you guys came, someone called in and said, there's 2 lots in, there's these 2 in,
They gone.
yeah, they're sold now. So he was like lot 8 and 9 in Nambour. So he's gonna present that tomorrow, and you know, so that's not our land. So I called, I just said, is it still available? We got the confirmation. I've asked them to hold it until Monday. So he now knows that he can go out and present that. And, you know, like he's not wasting his time and getting the confirmation and everything. And then like, oh no, we don't have it available. So always good, just check in before you speak to someone, or if you're sitting and speaking to someone and they seem really keen, just call and say, just want to confirm it's still there. I'll check straight away and I can put it on hold for you for like 24 hours if we need to. So I want to try and protect you guys as much as I can.
Yeah, that's good. So Yarra Builders is very good because Yarra Builders own land lease.
Yeah.
And a lot of land. The land lease doesn't pay a commission for land, but for the build, because it's reasonably cheap. Look how cheap it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yarra Builders is great. Fast.
I mean, like, I think there should be one under here as well. So I think
what's the average of the building cost?
pardon?
What's the average of the building cost?
Oh, it just it depends. It depends on what we're building, etc. But it's anywhere from sort of like 350 up to
I mean, the per square meter, roughly per square meter, 3,000 per square meter, or 2.5, or
I would have to check that. I think because we don't really do per square meter, because, you know, like depending on where we build, the builders, they have like they charge an extra fee if you gotta go outside of Brisbane, etc. So you can't just do like a standard price per square meter. And Jules obviously like they like, yeah. So but I think it's around I think someone said that it was around 23 to 2,500 per square meter, something like that. But please don't hold it against me. I'll try and see if I get a figure for you.
just the building price, house price there doesn't have the square meters.
Yeah, so well, you can see, so there's a co-living 215, so that's a 215 square meter. Yeah. And then, and then again, you know, like it's also, are we building on flat? Are we building, you know, like on steep land, etc.? So there's more site cost, etc. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, it's what I see is that Gallery Group, there's definitely like there's a lot of people that are interested in the stock. I think there's just they've been hard to get a hold of, and they know that. So
we know that, so don't we?
Actually, yeah, we want to change that now.
That's all good. Yeah, Martin's a great contact to have. Excellent. Yeah. Any questions online? a few questions online.
So you can sorry.
Just after your phone number, Martin, before you head off.
Yeah, I'm good to share it, Paul.
Sorry,
Is it good to share my phone number?
Yeah.
04
Just put in the
355 28 488.
I hope this is your work number, Martin. Yeah. Otherwise, people call you.
It's all the same. You can call me on the weekend. It's all right.
Sunday night 8 p.m.
4.
Yeah, put it in.
There you go.
Yeah, but if you need a project, House and Land is brilliant.
And if you can call me on the weekend. I really don't mind. Obviously, if I'm surfing, I can't answer, but generally, you know, like this is my job, and it's not. I don't work and a 8 to 4 job. You know, like I'm here for you guys. Totally understand that you're working on the weekends. You know, like, and the last thing that I want to do is have you try and sell some of our things and no one responding to you guys. So don't, I mean, maybe not call like at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, but I might be asleep. But other than that, absolutely, you can call me.
So
that's what I'm here for.
You're selling just land packaging? Other apartments, other...
No, yeah. House and land, yeah. So
talk about chalk, or that chalk is Adam was talking about chalk. Up to you.
chalk from the back.
Chalk Broadbeach.
yeah, so I think so. We obviously have Chalk Broadbeach at the moment. We're doing some changes to the DA, which looks to be. We look to be in a position to start talking about it in around November. So we're trying to add 6 stories onto it, and we're changing the sizes of the floor plans because they were simply too big. And so they'll fit the current market a lot better once we get the new one approved. And once we have that, and we have a tower that is being built up in Brisbane as well. Which is also sort of like probably December, January, we'll have some information. So once we have apartment stock, absolutely, I'm sure you'll be able to get access to it.
Yeah. We might actually organize a session at Lendlease. So we were invited by Lendlease Yarra Bilba.
Yeah.
To go there. They've got the land.
Yeah.
So our job is to put it together. They can advertise on our real estate project.
Yes.
We might do that. Because they reached out and said you want to come over and have a quick look at our land because it's so cheap. It's $253.
I mean, and then
so cheap.
And what you can do is like, so we would probably know the land anyway, but you tell us what lots they are, and you tell us what you want on them. We can quickly package it up, like, and then that's where the land is. We do the build, and you have access to all of the co-living, the dual co-living, the duals, the traditionals. And we can package that up for you fairly quickly. So that's easy to do.
But our job is probably to sell that concept because that's a fairly innovative concept.
But and it just makes a lot of sense. I mean, like it doesn't make that much sense for someone that is an owner occupier, of course, but for anyone that is looking for an investment at the moment, like in future. And I understand. I speak to people that have like this group from Sydney, like they had 5 buyers, and all they wanted was dual. They did not want co-living, so there's no point for me to try and explain how that works. They wanted dual, you give them dual, right? They wanted Ipswich, and they wanted under 700,000, and we didn't have it on our stock list, but we knew what they wanted, and we knew what money they had, and we could quickly go out and find 5 packages for them, and we got that across to them so that they got what they wanted, So again, if you need something that is not on the stock list, just come and speak to us, and we'll try and see if we can find it for you somewhere.
Yeah, we could do one contract as well for super funds. That's a huge demand.
Yeah, but that's our Coomera is definitely the one at the moment. Like that's all. That's a lot of that is being bought in the SMSF. Yeah. Just because the price point works well and the location is good.
There's a company we work with that can do one contract. Literally, they call one contract.
Yeah.
They can put the 2 together.
Oh, right. Okay.
And get a bare trust.
Oh,
get a loan. Come back, sell as a house and land package on one contract.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so that's quite a big thing too. So self-managed super fund needs to be one contract.
And how much do they charge for that?
They die for they charge. Not very much, not very much.
Yeah.
But it makes sense for SMSFs because the returns are much higher.
Yeah, I would be interested to know what that is afterwards. Yeah,
returns.
Because we get those questions a lot. You know, we're actually trying to find a way to offer more of our products on a single contract without the additional cost attached to it.
Yeah.
And we might have found a solution, but we don't know yet. But if we do, you'll hear about it very quickly because that is going to be a big game changer.
Yeah.
So that's obviously one of the challenges out there at the moment.
Yeah. And house and land is much better than residential in the sense you need to pay one stamp duty, right?
Yeah.
Which is a huge saving, massive saving.
Yeah, and you know, there's so much infrastructure going. Like when you look at the whole investment scenario, and just while you're all there, so in the Dropbox, we also have our investment reports. So for the different areas, so depending on, you know, like where you're trying to sell, we actually have really nice looking investment brochures that talk about the population, the economy, all the growth drivers and all of those sort of things. So you can just go in and use those ones as well with your clients if you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing some stuff with Urbis at the moment as well. So we'll get a whole bunch of updated information soon that you can use to your clients. Yeah.
Will that be okay if I use your like Bazaar or design to post on my character listings, something the name?
Yes. Yeah. Just if you just show me what you want to do first, and then where you want to put it, then I'll just get the green light. But generally, we don't mind. We're more than happy for you to share it. And also, we have a completed co-living display up in Logan that we have rented back from the investor. So that's there available. So if at any given time, are they still online as well? Are we online? Yeah. So if any of you guys, if you have clients or anyone that you want to take through an actual completed co-living, exactly the way that it is with all the landscaping, everything that we deliver it as, just let me know and we'll meet up in Logan and I'll take you through it and you can take your clients through it, etc. So that's what it's there for.
Is that normally open during the weekdays or?
No, so at the moment we just by appointment. Yeah. So but I can, as long as you tell me the day before, then we should either I can get up there or someone else can go up and let you guys in. So yeah, no, that's absolutely available for you guys to use.
Okay, any questions online?
So when you're building for co-living, it's extra cost for the build or it's the same?
So there is like some slight extra cost because we do obviously the full landscaping. There's some soundproofing in there. We're putting solar on the roof. There's like we're putting the locks, the key locks on all the doors. We have the lockable pantries, etc. So there's probably like a slight extra to what you would pay for a traditional home, but we're building it so that you can get the rent. And so if you try to take a traditional home and you try to get 3 people in there, again, because we have 3 en-suites instead of 1 en-suite and 1 guest bathroom, you know, like there are some additional costs. But those are the things that make it possible, number 1, to get the high rent. Number 2, it's actually an asset when you want to sell it because you have more bathrooms, etc. People will pay for that. But good question.
Yes,
Good question. Okay, so I've got all the participants online today within the group.
Yeah, perfect, guys. Thanks very much for jumping on. Those of you that are online and obviously us that are here will
put mine in the group as well.
Yeah.
So they can message you directly.
Yeah. No, feel free to do that. Anything you guys need, I'm here. So whatever we haven't done in the past, we'll make up for it now.
Yeah, if you need your project, house land is the best. I guarantee you, it is the best project to sell. It's easy, it's quick. It's all the material.
What we have to do.
It's amazing.
You got build time is really good. I mean, like I was speaking to a group from Melbourne, and down there, like there's someone, they have a guarantee for 36 weeks. That's a guarantee that they give. It's twice as long as what we do it in. So
yeah,
you know, like it just means it's probably like if it's registered land, you know, we can be done in 5 months, really, 4 or 5 months.
that is quick.
And then
Quick.
yeah, it just makes sense. You know, like you got the Olympics that are happening, you got huge growth here, you got schools and hospitals and everything being built everywhere. You know, like I'm just like this group that you see when we go on the flatmates.com. Those people have nowhere to stay. And there's so many of them. You know, like I think we had an average of 15 applicants per room, and we've delivered 130 houses. And there's just so many people out there that need it. And there are no one that are really catering for it, because the apartment buildings cannot put that many 1-bedrooms in it, because they are not only allowed to do that many car parks. You know, so they have to do 2 and 3 bedrooms in order to make it actually feasible for people to have a car and own an apartment there. And so there's just not enough stock coming in when it comes to apartments and houses. Most people, they've been taken up by owner occupiers, you know, like, and the investor stock is, you know, like, again, it's being rented cheap to families, etc. And so again, that gap there's really only us that are doing something there at the moment. So the opportunity is huge.
Yeah, great management fees as well.
Yeah. I mean, like you get people from. So I mean, we had a buyer from Sydney, and management fees are low down there because there's not that much happening in the market. So all the real estate agents, they're actually trying to get money from rent rolls, and so they're doing like 4 or 5% management fees, etc. But the thing is, like, and so he tried to get 2% discount. We wouldn't give it because there's a lot that goes into that. It's actually really fair for what it is that they do for that fee. Yeah. He was just hell-bent on getting 2%. So he ended up going to like a normal property manager that doesn't specialize in co-living, and ended up getting $250 less per week than what he should be getting. And then there is no point investing into co-living if you're not using someone that is going to maximize your return. And then most likely those ones have not been profiled either. So now you also like potentially got 3 people in there that are going to start fighting in 3 weeks. Yep. And then you're going to have like someone move out, and you're going to have gap periods, etc. So yeah, 12% including GST for all of the work that they do to protect the investor. That's why they pay it. Yep. The other thing that will probably come up is around insurance. So insurance is a little bit different when you have co-living, but we have a dedicated insurance broker, and it's not much more expensive than a regular insurance, but it just covers you fully when you are a landlord for co-living. So we also have that covered in our turnkey solutions.
Yeah, we have a few, I think, and we manage a few rooming accommodations. Returns are massive.
Yeah, so rooming accommodation though is very different than co-living. And I think, so I've been speaking to quite a few people over the last couple of weeks, and some have sort of like been, they don't believe in co-living, and it's just like, I wouldn't live in that, etc. I was just like, are we talking about the same thing? And then I realized that they were actually thinking that co-living was rooming accommodation, which is something that is built very different. You know, like it's not, you wouldn't walk in necessarily and be like, hey, I could live in here with my family, because it's smaller, it's very basic, it's my understanding from it. Whereas, you know, like these are just, they're 4-bedroom houses that normal families live in, that are just got 3 en-suites instead of 1. And they got a few other amendments to it, and that just allows you to get the big rent. So yeah, it's very important to explain to people that co-living is not rooming accommodation.
No shared bathrooms.
Correct. Yeah. No, absolutely.
So that's a different
That's different.
rooming and co-living.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So no wonder you keep saying just as three. I did call the city council as well to how many people could live in the house, you know.
Yeah.
By rent out the rooms.
Yeah, so co-living maximum 3. So that's why we're doing
Shared kitchen, shared.
But then you can get, so then we also have the dual co-living. So when you look at dual co-living, the floor plans look like this. So you got one garage, then you got 3 bedrooms, all with ensuite, living, dining, etc. And then on the other side, you have 1-car garage and a 1-bedroom auxiliary unit. So these ones,
just like a
they give you 300 per room on one side, and they give you 400 on the other side. So you're making 1,300 per week.
Just,
on these ones.
It's like a dual key.
So that's a dual. It's a dual co-living. So this one would definitely not be as easy to have the exit strategy as your regular co-living. However, they could work quite well as a, someone that is looking for it as a granny flat. If that's exactly right, because it's not a 2-bedroom thing. It is a 1-bedroom. So for people that have maybe lived with their parents or whatever, and they like it, you still cater to them.
So crazy.
But this is definitely more like this more investment oriented. Then where the co-living is like high return, but great exit strategy.
So you said you were 1,300. How much it cost to build something?
So this one is the house price is 470,000.
Jeez, that's a crazy return.
What's the size?
Yeah, so the size is 207.
What's 1,300 or what? 52 divided by 700.
22 grand, the 2200 or something.
So it's all together about.
And the land here is 544.
So if you're scrolling down, it says about 900 something, a package to build something like that?
What's 1,300?
Yes, yeah. So you got land 450, house 468, furniture pack, and then the total package 340.
Do they have to buy the furniture?
And this is actually this particular one is in Lawton, so that's like it's a really nice area where you're getting that sort of property under $1 million. You're getting 1,300 in rent, and you are in a really good suburb, sort of like in North Brisbane.
That's crazy. That's a 7.5% return. That's for residential. That's the commercial property.
Yeah,
Gross.
yeah. So they do really well. And again, like it's just you can go in and you can look at the floor plans and see what the options are, and then if you have land, etc., you want to build that somewhere, then we can see if we can fit it in a certain area.
You got a Yarra Bilba like 650.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Yeah, well, I think the co-living ones that we have in Yarra Bilba are like 620, I think. So the co-living 680, but that's probably that's a 400 square meter.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now people are moving dollars.
So it just depends. Again, it just depends on. So the land there is 400 square meter at 253. Yeah, so you can build that at 700 most likely in
Yarra Bilba.
Yeah.
Great places.
Yeah. And the thing with co-living as well is like there's a lot less restrictions on co-living than there is dual, for instance. Also, not everywhere you can build a dual, but co-living is much easier to place in most states.
Yeah, so that's terrific.
There's one thing here, Yarra Bilba.
Yeah.
It has the doesn't have a strata piece.
No, correct. So those are just like regular house and land. The only one we have with strata fees on our list at the moment is the Natura. That's got body corporate because it's got the pool and the pool house.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yes.
Any other questions? But Martin, thank you for coming on board to save us.
Yeah, no worries. We're glad to be working with you guys again. It's been
To be honest,
Yeah.
we've got so many leads. But back up the phones.
You only have to hear about when you're going.
Yeah, we'll go about that. But anyway, Martin's on board.
Yeah,
Martin's on board, so we can now call Martin. We're in contact. But we do have quite a lot of leads for sure. For sure.
yeah, and just again, I think like it's just getting things started, right? Like once if we can get one or two through, and you can see the process, etc., you see how easy it is. Like then it makes everything easier from there on. So.
This is display. Is this for chalk?
Yeah, so this particular display is actually, this is how the original 3-bedroom apartments, the original size of them, which was awesome, but it just became like that many. I think there were 70 of them or something like that in the tower, and the price point, people wanted it, and then when they came in, they were just went, what's so big, and then you go from like 1.5 million to 2.5 million, and it's just hard to find that additional money. And so that's why we're scaling it back and just adding some height on it. And we'll know more about that one towards the end of this year.
Chalk is what, 22 stories or something? It's huge.
I actually have not. I don't know anything about it.
Okay, we'll be here in November.
Yeah, exactly. You'll know when we're ready.
Yeah, Chalk is good.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Well, I guess for some lunch Friday.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. You go down, guys. Really appreciate it.
Do you want lunch? Fine. Do you have time off? We go for lunch next door. What's next door? Noodle box.
Yeah, they actually got great noodles, to be honest. Great.
We'll take you out for lunch if you're free. Up to you.
I'll join you guys. Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Going live. Thank you very much. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. See you. A screenshot of this. Split the print. But you can think. Thanks, guys.